Give it to me like.
Every day feels boring, the same thing, routine in the morning. Grew up too fast without warning, and when it rains it's pouring. I got dreams, big dreams, I wanna do big things, but I just can't seem to put it all together. I just wanna be seen. I'm jumping ship, I'm a diving, middle of the ocean, swimming till I find it. I see an island out ahead, filled with things that I've wanted since I was a kid. Swim to it.
Hey, where is everybody? Hello? I don't have anybody commenting, not one person, not one mod. Damn, talk about feeling unloved. I'm going to go back to not being on YouTube. Jeez. Oh my God, I got so much to say. But at least I don't have to say hi to anybody because nobody's here. So to the people watching, hello. There's some people. Hey, Maxine. Hey, Cindy. I have no idea where everyone is. So I don't even know where my mods are. I'm all alone in this world. Hey, Tony. Hey, Mark. But I was listening to, hey, Crimson. I was listening to Brittany J's interview with Seth, and I really got a lot to say. Hey, Allie. I really got a lot to say about it. Let me put a disclaimer on this, though. I am not bashing Seth at all. But I'm also not going to allow this I'm a perfect parent bullshit to continue. And it's frustrating to me to hear that nobody's questioning Mr. Perfect Parent over there, who caused half this drama on himself. And there's a lot of little things that he says that it's just such bullshit. And everybody feeds into it like, oh, poor Seth. Let me tell you guys something. The only difference between Seth and Katie is that it happened under Katie's watch. That's the only difference. What I mean by that is, I once drove, sorry, Mom. I once drove from Vegas to LA with a quarter or a half ounce of cocaine on me. High as a motherfucker. Okay. And I mean high as a motherfucker. And I didn't get caught. Thank God. I didn't get caught. The guy next to me, figuratively speaking, the guy next to me drives from Vegas to LA with a half ounce cocaine on him and gets caught and does 6 years. Am I any better than the guy that didn't get caught? Fuck no. The only difference is I didn't get caught. So it doesn't make me any better. So the fact that Seth allows that that Sebastian disappeared on Katie's watch while Katie was home doesn't make it right, or doesn't make Seth a better person because it didn't happen on his watch while he's leaving a 15-year-old home alone 12 hours a day, according to his own words. But he wants to make it out like he's so much better than Katie because Sebastian disappeared on Katie's watch, not on his watch. There's something called a babysitter that a parent should get if they have to work 12 hours a day. If you have to work and you can't watch your kid overnight, then guess what? Get a babysitter. I'm not telling you shouldn't work, but get a babysitter. A 15-year-old doesn't need to be left alone overnight. Just my opinion. Especially a 15-year-old autistic child. We know Sebastian had learning disabilities, and we know Sebastian had issues. But Seth couldn't be bothered taking care of them. No, instead, he was going to do the easy route and just do homeschooling. Doesn't matter, time out, what a legal age is. It has to do with knowing your child. From everything that we've heard, Sebastian really shouldn't have been left alone. We're not talking legal age. We're talking actual mentality. Just saying. And we've heard so many different stories. But let's move on. Since it's an interview, we're going to go ahead and start reviewing it. Hey, Jess. Oh.
Real quick.
Hey. Okay, can you hear me?
I can.
All right, listen, I promise you here, no one's going to disrespect
I'm just going to make this quick because
Okay.
it's 11 o'clock at night. I've been busy all day.
Okay.
And I got an early morning. I've got searchers coming in again next week. Got places to go. Got to get what little sleep I can.
I understand.
I sent out cease and desist. These people are nasty.
Oh, they are.
And no parent of a missing child should ever have to sit there and listen to the people slander him. And
Oh, you mean like Seth and Kate and I'm sorry, like Katie and Chris have to listen to you from you and all your little buddies over there, Seth? You're right. No missing child parent should ever have to deal with this, including Katie, including the mother of your child, who just assuming she didn't do anything, we're going to put that as an assumption that she didn't do anything, that her and Chris are completely innocent. So you can imagine the guilt that she would feel having to deal with all this, and the guilt that she must feel that her son went missing, her blood child went missing on her watch. That's scary. And again, I'm assuming that she didn't do anything. But you're right, Seth. No parent of a missing child should have to go through the bullshit that you have put Katie and Chris through. Just saying.
I've listened to people call my son a sexual offender. I've listened to people call me one.
Yep.
All right. I didn't have any relations with Sebastian's mother until she was way after the age of 18. People need to get off their high horse.
Now that's a lie right there. How do I know that? Listen a little further. Hey, Texan, listen a little further and you'll know why that's bullshit. So now all of a sudden he's backtracking and changing his story. Hey, Vanessa, he's backtracking and changing his story. Now it's way after she was 18. Okay, Seth.
Agreed.
Because I'll tell you right now, I don't have to do anything and God will knock you down. But I sent cease and desist to make sure that there is proof in the legal system that I am not connected to these people.
Okay.
Yeah.
You sent cease and desist to prove that you're not involved in anything. What? Cease and desists or because you don't like what people are saying about you? That's why you send cease and desists. I will never, under any circumstance, Avery, understand how somebody can sit there and say that they need to send a cease and desist, but yet they're looking for their child. Katie and Chris have taken the brunt of bullshit and haven't sent any cease and desists. Haven't really said anything. But leave it to Seth to be the one to completely fucking handing it out.
That way, I'm not sitting there and they can sit there and say whatever they want. Defamation is pretty easy when someone's sitting there for 6 hours on a live panel, letting people talk massive amounts of crap about me and accuse me of everything from putting in.
All I hear is me, 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 me. What about what you did to Kate, your ex-wife, and her husband? That doesn't count though, right, Seth? That doesn't matter. It's all about me, 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 me. You have trashed them. You have allowed others to trash them. And you only have a problem because it was now turned around on you. Now you don't like it. Well, tough shit. Maybe you shouldn't have done it to them.
And nailing to Jesus Christ on a cross or pushing the red button for Biden. You know?
Yeah.
You say whatever you want about me, but when you start talking trash about my son or you're using pictures of my son.
Nobody has ever talked trash about Sebastian. That is a lie. So we're going to mark down every single lie that Seth tells in this interview because I've been following this. Nobody has said shit in negative connotation about Sebastian. If I'm wrong, please enlighten me. But as far as I've seen, nobody has said anything bad about Sebastian. So that's a lie. That's lie number one.
And stupid little things for click me bait because you guys want to make money. And when I say you all, I mean everybody who's out there. When my YouTube channel comes out and I sit there and I make people pay for a membership to listen to me give updates, I know that I'm going to receive nothing but negative attention about it.
Why do you need to charge to give updates, Seth? There are no updates that you can give that the police aren't going to give. You're not holding anything special in your circle that you need to charge for updates. Sit down, like for real. Oh, I've listened to most of it, timeout. I think they're all liars. Don't get me wrong. I think they're all a bunch of phonies. But Chris and Katie aren't claiming to be perfect parents either. This one is.
Nothing but negative tension, because Lord knows I'm the child's father. I need to make sure I have flyers. I need more yard signs. I need more materials and more resources, and there's not enough.
Absolutely.
Last time I checked, you just got $25,000 from a GoFundMe. Where's that money? I'm just curious. Where's that money? 25 grand in a very short amount of time. Definitely buys flyers. Just saying. I'm sure that plenty of flyers could be donated if you go ask. If I owned a printing company and somebody needed flyers, yeah, I'd do it. No problem. So where's this 25 grand you just got? Where'd that go to? Flyers aren't that expensive. Just saying.
Absolutely.
There is not enough until my son comes home. People want to talk about me being at work. That's my personal life. Get over it. You're not going to find out if I'm at work or not. It's none of your business. I've had people infiltrate my home. I've had people sit there and literally lie and have conversations that you just wouldn't have with a person. Not if you actually had a soul. And to have people come in afterwards and call me on a live chat, and I didn't even know I was live, and start asking me questions about stuff that I had no idea what was going on. That's pretty dirty. All right. And then sit there. I get phone calls from Sumner County and from TBI about everything that's going on. Well, they need to stay in their lane. Don't ask me what I have a civil attorney doing for me. All right.
Okay. Why in the fuck are you paying an attorney instead of paying for flyers? What's more important, your little ego or your son? Because all I'm hearing is that your ego is more important than your son. Why the fuck do you have an attorney? A civil attorney, no less. I'm sure she's not free. And if she is, so be it. But why are you paying a civil attorney again, Chris? Seth? Because your ego is hurt? Because you don't like that somebody's saying bad things about you? Sounds like a bit of a narcissist to me. Because let's pay an attorney over paying for flyers. Okay, makes perfect sense.
They need to be focused on investigating and finding my son. But every time one of these creators open their mouth, and I say that term very loosely because there's a lot of YouTubers.
I don't know exactly who, but like 7 creators seem to have gotten C&Ds. I don't know which ones. Hey, Adrian.
Out there that are not creators. All they are is, we'll take what this person did and we'll go over it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
and
right.
I'll tell you right now, I have no respect for them. I don't. But that's my personal opinion. And I don't care if somebody has respect for me or not. I'm looking for my son. And I said, I will dance with the devil and show the devil a few moves in order to find my son. And that means I'll do whatever I need to do within the limits of the law, because me going to jail doesn't help my son.
Right.
But I will never stop looking for him. And anybody that wants to be an obstacle in my way, I feel sorry for them. Because karma's a bitch. And God will knock them down.
Nobody is trying to stop you from finding your child, Seth. Let's not get all dramatic here. That's what I hear is drama, 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 drama. Bitch, you caused half of this. Just stop.
You're right about that. I want to clear something up with you while you're here.
And just so you know, I sent 6 people cease and desist. 6. Not 50. Okay. Yeah, 6, not 50 like T-Rev is talking about. And I tell you what, anybody that's out here on a YouTube, whether they're a creator or whatever they want to classify themselves at, if they're literally out there spreading Sebastian's case in a positive light, not a negative light. There's enough negativity in this world. People say I start drama. Don't ask me questions that start drama. I'll give you an honest answer. You may not like the fact that I give an honest answer, and other people may not like the fact that I am brutally honest. But they'll even say in one of those.
Anyone that says I am so brutally honest tells me they're a liar. Just saying.
The declarations that Katie wrote in my divorce, that I tell people the truth. And I literally will sit there and state whether it has anything to do with it. And that always used to piss her off. She hated it when I talked about anything that was going on in the house. She was like, that's a random stranger. I've been like, well, I can't talk to you about it. I'm going to talk to a random person that doesn't know anything and bounce the ideas off of them, because they might have the answer. God may say, this is how you should answer this gentleman, and give me the answer, because God works in mysterious ways. That crazy person that's asking for change out there on the street corner, that person could have an answer. The first places that I hit were.
Okay, so now we know that Seth goes to random homeless people on the street and tells them family problems. That's basically what he just said. That the random guy asking for change on the street might have the answers. Oh, okay, Seth. So let's go around telling your family problems to homeless people on the street. Gotcha. Works perfect.
Homeless encampments. I've been homeless before. Thank you to my ex-wife for making me homeless. Why didn't I give?
Okay, your ex-wife didn't make you homeless, Seth. Only you can become homeless. Nobody, even if she threw you out on the street, you should have a way to have money, or you had a job. So don't be blaming everything on Katie. This is not a trash Katie session. This is not my whole life is a mess because of Katie. You're the man. You're older than her too. You should have been taking care of her.
Full custody. I was homeless, living in a vehicle. I praised God every day. I got joint custody. Do you think I wanted full custody? Without a doubt. I should have my son living with me right now. But yet I'm still a suspect of my son's disappearance. You guys don't know what kind of effect that has on a person's.
Right there. Remember earlier I said this changes later? Seth said earlier that he sent out cease and desist letters, so he's not guilty. But the police still have him guilty. The police still have him as a suspect. So what was the point of sending cease and desist again? What updates are you giving? Because if you're still a suspect, the cops aren't giving you the answers that the public wants, because you're still a suspect. And to be honest with you, if my kid was missing and the cops made me a suspect, I don't give a fuck. If I know I didn't do anything, I don't care how you view me. I know I didn't do it. So if the cops make me a suspect, I don't care. Make me a suspect. It don't matter. As long as you're trying to find my son, the truth will come out. The answers will definitely come out. So guess what, Seth? Deal with it. I understand in your mind you can't, but the reality is, who gives a fuck? The police look at you as a suspect. If you know you didn't do anything, don't worry about it. But he's so worried about how he looks. He's so worried about, how people see him.
Psyche. To know that I'm getting phone calls from law enforcement about me sending out cease and desist from my attorney, who is doing her job because she wants to make sure that people in the legal system know that these people do not represent me, and therefore they.
Okay. First of all, Seth, nobody thinks that Dolly Vision represents you. Nobody thinks that who else did he possibly send one to? Nobody thinks that T-Rev represents you. Okay? Even the cops told you sending out these cease and desist was wrong. Even the fucking police told you that. But it doesn't matter to you. You just don't care. Unbelievable.
They have been sent a cease and desist.
So law enforcement did not want you to send out those letters?
No, law enforcement has called me about them because everybody's up in arms that I sent out a cease and desist. Some of these people live right there in Sumner County. 3 of them do. T-Rev lives there. Klumati lives there. And so does T-Rev's girlfriend. I'm not even going to speak her name. She ain't worth it.
Okay. So he can't say Michaela's name, which is T-Rev's new babe, because Seth and her were dating at one point, I think. Seeing each other at one point. I'm not 100% sure. But I guess they all got revs. I mean, they all got cease and desist. I know, let's dox some folks. Now we know where they all live. So Kluminati, T-Rev's girlfriend, definitely got cease and desist.
Whoa. All 3 of them lived there. And you know what? T-Rev has never showed up for a search. Oh, he bought hot dogs and buns. Appreciate it, buddy. I didn't appreciate everything else you did, like taking a picture of me while I was in my recliner in my house. Stepping into my sanctuary and violating my sanctuary. Because not only did you violate...
He didn't violate shit. You invited him in. You invited him in the house. And you know what? He didn't have to buy hot dogs for that rally. He didn't have to do anything. So yeah, you're sitting there, oh, I appreciate. You should fucking appreciate it because that's less money that you had to take out. And people do like hot dogs. And as far as searching goes, I'm sorry, but there's no reason for Seth or anybody. There's no reason for T-Rev or anybody else to be searching in the area. That's what professionals do. T-Rev is a fucking YouTuber. He's a YouTuber. He's not a searcher. He's not search and rescue. He's not a police officer. He's not a detective. He's a fucking YouTuber. And YouTubers should not be out searching. Sorry, not sorry. YouTubers need to stay in front of their computer, report the facts. I mean, have you ever seen Bailey Sarian out searching for someone? Have you ever seen Christine Randall out searching for someone? Have you ever seen Stephanie Harlow out searching for someone? No. You want to know why? Because they're YouTubers. They make documentaries. They make fucking videos. They're not out searching. I think it was really fucking nice T-Rev bought hot dogs. I don't even like the fucking guy. And I thought it was really nice that he bought hot dogs. He didn't have to make hot dogs for anyone. He didn't have to buy 1,000 hot dogs or however much it is. I think I wouldn't do it. I think that's really nice of him. Just saying. All right, maybe I would buy them, but you know what I mean. Hey, Aries. Hey, Gina.
Violate my sanctuary, but this is also my son's sanctuary. I didn't appreciate that. Klumati showed up for, one search, only one search. And she acted all nice and friendly. Mm-hmm. Introduced herself by her name, not by her, never once told me that she was a YouTubist.
I don't know what a YouTubist is, but Kluminati doesn't have to say, hi, I'm Kluminati. I think it's more respectful that she gave you her real name, that she didn't introduce you as, hi, I'm just a YouTuber, come on my panel. I'm sorry. I think she did a good job. I think that was a very honorable thing to do. Yeah, I like that. I'm a YouTubist. A YouTubian.
None of that sort of stuff. But I treated her like a regular researcher. Hi, thank you. I appreciate your help. And
But Seth, he's not a searcher. He's a YouTuber. That's it. He's a YouTubian. Exactly. He's a YouTubist. He's not a searcher. He's not a professional. He is a YouTuber who shouldn't even be out there buying hot dogs. I'm sorry. He should stay in his house.
and then she turns around and plays, I want to be number 6 on, CP's list of marriage or whatever you want to call it. I don't care. People want to talk trash about me, but people want to look at me and tell me I'm trash and that I'm despicable because I have an opinion and attitude.
No, you don't deserve.
My son is missing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody who's never been in my position has the right to tell me anything. All right.
I agree.
Those that do have been in this position, I've spoken to, and I get different opinions from other people. And people you need to get rid of this person on your team. No, I get rid of people that I watch their activities, I watch their actions, I listen to their words. And when actions and words don't meet up, something is wrong. I've always been a person that explains to my son that anybody can say anything, but your actions will speak louder to your words. What CP did to my son is horrific. My son cleans his room. Why? Because I use logic with him. Sebastian, you can't find this toy. You know why you can't find this toy? Because I had to come and clean up your room while you were gone. Now, if you clean up your room and you put things back when.
Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I don't believe this. I'll tell you why. We all see firsthand what a temper this man has. I know I get aggravated with my kids about not cleaning their room. I have a son that is very high on the spectrum. I don't know if that's the right way to put it. Very high functioning. He's, for lack of a better way to say it, he's kind of barely autistic anymore. And I know you can't grow out of it, but in a lot of ways, he really did. You would never know he's autistic speaking to him. Very intelligent, very articulate, extremely intelligent, genius level, goes to college, goes to a normal college. For all intents and purposes, I still yell at him, Phoenix, when are you going to clean your fucking room? And even when he was young, I didn't sit there like, oh, Phoenix, you have to do it like this. You have to do it like that. No, you do that when they're like 5. But Seth is acting like he's never yelled at Sebastian. Bullshit. Dude, we see you yell at fucking random YouTubers, let alone your child. Just stop with the I'm so perfect bullshit.
You come back in here, you will know where everything is because you've put it in its special spot.
Exactly.
You didn't make him clean it up and go take his things to the trash, right? Make him throw his
no
things away. Yeah,
this might be seen kind of selfish, but I'm a parent. I'm on a limited income because I work for the county. All right. I make $50,000 a year. I work 12-hour shifts and I deal with murderers and inmates that I believe can change.
Absolutely.
All right. And I treat them like they're human beings.
Yeah.
Because I expect them to change. Are my sights set too high?
Again, I don't believe any of this. I spent 30 days in a county prison, in a county jail, which is where he works, as county jail. They treat you like shit. They don't treat you like you're human, especially if you're waiting to go upstate. He's acting like he's the perfect person. Seth, I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. I bet if I find an inmate from your prison, they'll tell me that you were controlling, that you had to have power, that you probably walk around with your nose up in the air. I would guarantee it. And I'm usually right about people. And I'm sorry, Seth, I'm not buying any of this. If you're in a county waiting for people to go upstate I say upstate because in New York, it was upstate, but upstate, downstate, wherever they are in Tennessee, And I'm sorry, but these people are not good people. They're not changing because they're in your prison. You're not catering to them. You're telling them when to eat, sleep, and shit, and making sure that they don't fight. What are you waiting for them to change for? Just stop. I did. I spent 30 days. I spent one time for 48 hours, next time 30 days. And then another time for like 20 hours. All during a custody fight. Had nothing to do with like I actually did anything wrong. I never broke the law.
Probably. But that's not for me to judge. I'm there to make sure they're safe while they're in jail before they go to prison. All right. I have a badge. I'm supposed to uphold that badge. I don't hide behind that badge. I am the representation of what the badge is supposed to be.
Oh, bitch, please. Please. You are a perfect cop. You are the perfect father. You are the perfect everything, Seth. How dare anybody question you? Do you really believe this? Because I don't. I don't believe anything he's saying. Oh, I wear that badge proud. You're a fucking CO. CO is a correction officer. And I'm sorry, I'm not buying this at all. I think it's a total crock of shit. And this is not taking away anything of him being the father of a missing child. It's exactly, Cindy. It's the me bullshit. It's I do this right and I do that right and I do this right and I do that right and poor me and I only make, X amount of money and blah, blah, blah. Just stop.
Honor, integrity, courage, commitment. Only I can do that. Mm-hmm. I've had inmates, oh, you hide behind the badge. No, I'm the same person when you see me at Walmart in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, grabbing a gallon of milk and orange juice to go home so that my son has milk and orange juice to drink. Pick him up whatever he wants to cook for dinner or whatever he wants me to cook for breakfast, so on and so forth. I work when my son is here with me. I work with him so that everything in this house is his. He knows what is his. He has to have room to grow. You cannot sit there and keep somebody trapped in a cube and expect them to grow. That does not work.
Okay. He knows what was his. Hold on. I was a correctional officer for 20 years. Times have changed. For many of us did treat the inmates with fairness. So many consequences they report you. I don't know, Moonflower. When I was in jail, and again, let me just explain. I wasn't in there because I did a DWI or anything. I was in there during a custody fight. I didn't give my son to his father twice, and I went to jail. I was sentenced to 30 days for a contempt of court. But all they did, Macaroni, get up. That was my name then. Macaroni, get up. Macaroni, medicine. Macaroni, don't do this. Don't do that. They didn't give a fuck about us. They hated us. Were they nice to us at times? Yeah, of course they were. But for the most part, they weren't fucking good to us. They didn't care if we changed or not. They went in there, they did their jobs, and they went home. End of story.
Absolutely. 100%.
People want to give me grief for how I raised my son. Well, I am sorry. I didn't think I should take him out on the street corner.
Oh, that was I was going to say before I got sidetracked. So Seth is also over here stating that he knew what was his. I hate when I hear people say that. Every single thing in my house is my kids too. Every single thing that I bought in this house is owned by Sage, Phoenix, and Dayton, and myself. There is no, this is mine and that's yours. Now, with brothers and sisters, yes, Sage, stay the fuck out of Dayton's room. Dayton, stay the fuck out of Phoenix's fridge. That's different. That's completely different when it's siblings. But as far as a parent goes, there is nothing in my house that my kids don't own. They don't live in my house. This is our house. This has always been our house. I have never said to my kids, you can't do that in my house. No, this is their house. This is ours. So when I hear Seth say that this is, he knew what was his. Exactly, Crystal. Every single thing is theirs till it's a mess. When I hear him say, well, he knew what was his, that tells me there was controlling issues. That tells me that there is a control thing. He knows what's his and I know what's mine. No, Seth, everything should be his. Everything. Doesn't matter if it's an Xbox, doesn't matter what it is. There were no siblings, so everything is his. So when I hear him talk otherwise, I hear control, that Seth had control issues.
And pick a fight with somebody and show him what a real beating was. Yes. Did I tell my son I was going to bust his butt? Sure did. Did I use that exact verbiage? Probably not. Hello. I'm a first time.
I'm sorry. I do believe you use that verbiage, and it's not a bad thing if you did. But you don't just come out with that saying if you never said it before. Like, I would never say I'm going to bust your butt. It's not something I would ever say. So it's not something I would say in passing. But I would say, I used to tell them when they were young that if they didn't clean their room and they didn't do what I asked them to do and they didn't study and brush their teeth, I was going to hang them from the ceiling by their toes. And each time one broke, I would tie them by the next toe. Would I ever do it? Of course I would. We all laughed about it. And the thought of it still makes me cringe. But, that was a joking thing that we would say. I'd be like, clean your room. Are you going to be hanging from the ceiling fan by your toe? So you just wouldn't say that, Seth, if you never said it.
Parent. It's a never ending, everyday learn something new.
Yeah.
So I used a video game, which is better than watching an R-rated movie with a bunch of people being shot and having heads cut off or, things like that. No, I took a video game that we have played and I put the blood mode on so you can actually see it, because before there was none. I turned it off. He doesn't need to see all that. But yet I get criticized. And most of these people that criticize me don't even have kids.
Yeah. All right, let me just put it like this. My kids have been playing video games as long as they can remember. Dayton has been playing Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto from the time he was 5, literally. People used to say to me, how could you allow your kid to play Grand Theft Auto at 5? Blah, 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 blah. Because he was a really good gamer and it was a good game. And you know what? My kid is such a diehard Christian, doesn't even want to date women because he thinks they're all hoes and he wants to wait till marriage. So that's where playing Grand Theft Auto and having hookers in a video game and shooting and vile stuff, that's where my kid grew up to be. So all this bullshit about video games and don't, turn this off, turn that, I gave them freedom and they all turned out amazing. So it all has to do with parenting, not the video games themselves. I get so frustrated when people say, oh, I did this on a video game. How about you just teach your children the right way and then video games won't play an effect?
Yeah, I honestly don't hold that.
I have never once said I was perfect, nor will I ever say I am perfect. Sebastian, my son, may think that I walk on water, and I never want to lose that. I never want to lose that, because that means I'm his hero.
That's right. You're right. And you don't.
You're such the hero, and I can't get past this. You're such the hero that when he said that he wanted to come live with you, or Katie and Chris wanted you to come live, that he wanted him to go live with you, you told him no. You said that he needed to stay at Katie's another year to punish him. Are you fucking kidding me with this petty bullshit about what a perfect dad you were, Seth, just stop. Because I can't get that past. I can't get that out of my head. That is stuck in my head for a long time. Every time I hear Seth speak about Sebastian coming to live with them, that's all I keep thinking about. That's all I keep thinking about.
Don't deserve
Have
to
I
have.
failed my son? Oh, yes. I am my worst critique ever. None of these people I hear saying anything can make me feel worse than I already am until they sit there and start talking about my son being a sexual offender or any of that.
I want to know who said that Sebastian was a sexual offender. Now, I don't watch everybody, but I have watched a lot of people over the last month. I have never heard anybody say anything bad about Seth. I heard people talk about Chris. I heard people talk about the situation, but I've never heard anybody say that Sebastian was a SP ever. Correct me if I'm wrong.
My son was with me all last on the Christmas break. Faith wasn't here. I saw that rumor going out there. Sebastian was with me before Faith even got here. So people need to shut that rumor up.
We
all
did.
right?
Trust me. We have fought diligently to make sure that that's not
kid
true.
that's missing.
That's right. And that should have never come out of anybody's mouth. And believe you me, here and in a lot of places I know, Seth, it won't be spoken, and we shut it down. That there's nothing to even that
but
is
there
ever.
are YouTubers out here that promote that stuff. They got cease and desist because they're nasty and vile things.
Well,
And where did anybody originally hear that from? That would be out of Seth's own mouth. The only person that I have heard speak about it is Seth. Just saying.
They have an agenda, right? They're playing up to Christopher Proudfoot. They wanted him on panel because they're getting the views from him being there because he acts like such an ass.
Yep.
And nobody's getting views from Seth. Nah. Nobody's getting views when Seth comes on panel.
You know, we could all act like an ass. And that there is nobody in this world that can't act like one. But what it comes down to is that he's not looking for Sebastian. His family's not looking for Sebastian. His own mother, Sebastian's own mother, is not looking for Sebastian.
It's insane. It's craziness. To get in a camper and go 3.5 hours away from your house with your child missing.
Well, come on. It's 3 hours and 37 minutes.
Thank you. How foolish of me. You're exactly right. That was suspect.
You know, let's break this down because Lord help us, we may or may not get stuck behind a semi on route.
How much would you like someone to look? That is my question. How often can someone look? You can only look so much. The professionals can't find him. Where do you think looking is going to find him? Granted, I don't have a missing child, knock on wood. And I don't think I would stop looking. But there comes a point, how much are you going to look?
40.
Yeah.
You know, it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid just because nothing is ever finite. Everything is infinite. There's no, it takes 3 minutes to do this. That's bullshit. You ask anybody. There's too many holes in their stories.
Oh, it's just incredible. It's incredible.
I know where I was at, and it really upsets me that they haven't cleared me. They have literally pulled over a year of my phone records.
Why do you care that they haven't cleared you if you're innocent? Who cares? If I am a suspect and I know that I didn't do anything, then who cares? Why does it matter so much about your ego, Seth? If you didn't do anything and you know that you're innocent, why do you care so much? It should not bother you that you're not cleared.
They have pulled, they have taken all the electronics. Yeah, I want my son to have his stuff back. I want my son to be found and walk into his room and it
Yeah.
be set up just like it was when he went missing, so that he can start readjusting back to life.
That's right.
Okay.
Mhm.
And if
And
nobody has an autistic child, then they don't know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Brandon,
But
can I
my
say
son, when he
something
came
to you?
home,
Hold on.
he would walk into
Mhm.
his room and everything is left just like he picked it up and put it.
Yep. That's his comfort.
That's his
comfort.
sanctuary within our
Yep.
sanctuary.
Thank you, Mystic. It does go against me though, because that's why I have 100 and all these other people have 900. That's why. But I do agree with you. I will never, hey, Kim, I will never just agree to fit in.
And what's funny is he doesn't, when he's at my house, he spends more time in the recliner than he does in his own room. Because he'd rather be out here in the living room where I am than in his room like he is at his mom and Chris's. He stays in his room there.
Yeah.
Here, he lives in my shitty 2-bedroom with a garage, 900 square foot place that I pay rent for. That my rent has increased since I moved here in October of 2020. My rent has gone from $700 to over $1,000, and I don't move.
Now, there is an opposite side of that, okay? And that the opposite side is my kids love staying in their rooms. That is their little sanctuary. We have a 50-inch screen TV, a very comfortable couch, table, chairs. They would still rather be in their rooms. Why? That's their little sanctuary. That's their home. That's their space. I'm in my room too a lot. That's my space. If I'm not in my room, I'm in my candle studio. Now, many of us, all of us, will just plop on the couch, play on our phones, because the couch is really comfortable. But the point is my kids like being in their rooms. They like their own space. Kids that like their rooms like staying in their rooms, not because they don't want to venture out in the hallway or that they don't like you, but that's their own personal space that they're comfortable in. There's nothing wrong with that. So that tells me that Sebastian just isn't comfortable in his room, in his little house. So he'd rather be in a living room. That's how I see that.
Because he is used to this.
Yeah.
Mhm. And
He has his own room.
I
He
want to
has
say
his own.
something on your behalf about that real quick, okay? Because I'm tired of everybody saying everything you say has something to do with money. No, what he's saying is he's willing to rip himself off by not finding something cheaper because he
Or
wants his
bigger.
child to have a home that he is safe and I have a child on the spectrum too, Seth. So I get what
So you
I
know
get
how
it.
it is.
Yes, I do.
Change is constant, but if you can limit what little change,
Yes.
then it does them so well.
Yes. And then when he comes home to you, he's home where everything's where you left it for. I understand. Yes. More than you know. And I'm so sorry for what you're going through. I tell you, it
I
grips
tell you
my
what,
heart.
if I get my son back, I don't care. I'll go through even more. But I want my son. I want him found. I want him returned home to me. And all these people out here, I hope like hell you never have a child and have to go through anything resembling what I'm going through. Not even for 30 minutes. Been over 100 days. For me, it's been even longer because it's been 7 more days.
So sorry, Seth. So sorry.
And it's just there's evil people out there. There's people that are negative naysayers, ones that just love to start drama. Well, you ask questions and I answer questions. And the questions you ask are meant to start drama. And I can't help that I answer questions. But if I don't answer the questions, I can't win for losing. And I'm not trying to win anything. I'm just trying to find my son.
Seth, I just want to tell you one thing. I am with you 100%. And I know that you love your son. I know that you are 100% into finding your son. I'm not, from the very start, that's how I felt. And I am not going to change my mind.
Mm-hmm. I need to.
Again, he loves his son so much that he punished his son by not allowing him to come live with him and only allow him, and he had to stay with his mom for another year. And he loved his son so much that he was going to homeschool him because he didn't want to drive him to school every day. Because an autistic kid, the last thing they need is homeschooling. That is the fucking last thing they need. They need to be around other kids. They need to have the experience of being around other kids. If he was as high functioning and quote unquote normal as they say. So I'm sorry, Nana. I completely disagree with you. Does he love his kid? Yeah, he loved his kid. But I'm sorry. There are certain things that he put himself over his own child. And here we are. And I know that's not a popular opinion, but it's a fact.
Ask you this because I want to clear this up. It's been going around that you are asking for money for interviews. Can you clarify if that is true or not?
Nobody's giving me nothing for interviews.
There you go.
Wow.
I didn't even go to CrimeCon because I was out searching that day. I couldn't see myself going and being around people.
Okay, not for nothing, but if I have a missing child and there is a convention where people could help find my child, like real people, and I mean real people, yeah, that would be the first place I'd be. The very first place I'd be.
Instead of not being out trying to find my kid.
This is crazy, man.
Yeah, there's probably been some really good resources for me there.
Oh, I'm sure.
But you know that most of those people that were there, except for some of the FBI agents, I have their phone numbers. I could call them.
Yeah.
Because they've already reached out to me. I just didn't see the point of being there.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, I'll tell you, you weren't even there and people were already losing their mind that you were. So it probably is a good thing that you didn't go. It's ridiculous. This is what YouTube is. It's nuts. And when you have grievance, oh, it makes me so mad.
For the longest, people have been drilling this into my head for, a couple months now. YouTube is social media. But when I opened up my first YouTube account back in the 2000s, it was to listen to music, people.
Yeah.
It was just watch music videos, do it yourself videos. There wasn't all this stuff that's on it now. So yeah, I never really classified this as social media. To me, MySpace, that was social media. A lot better than Facebook because at least you had to know how to code. And I had a MySpace. I've had Facebook too, but it's just horrible.
It is.
It's
yeah.
It's been years. It's been years since I had a Facebook. I used my Facebook account to save videos of Sebastian and pictures.
Yeah.
Because I had hard drives fried on me and I lost pictures. And I was like, I need someplace digital. You know what? I can use my Facebook profile and just make it private and nobody can see it.
Yeah.
And I saved pictures there. I've got pictures of me and Sebastian at the zoo, videos of me and Sebastian at the zoo watching the piranhas eat because that's what he wanted to do. So we had to make sure that we were one of the first ones into the zoo. We had to make sure that we had gotten all the way over to the fish area in there before they fed them because they fed them at the same time, every morning. And we literally, and we were there to watch all of like 15 seconds of them devour this huge chunk of meat. And he was
Oh
like,
my
that was
goodness.
awesome. And I couldn't even,
I
I
love
couldn't
it.
even get my phone
Okay, a father took his kid to the zoo. Okay, and
up, which was one of these old flip phones, to record it fast enough before they devoured it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you want some pictures of you next to the piranha? He was like, sure.
He loved the
And then,
piranhas. Bless his little heart.
and then off to watch the snakes, off to sit there and look at all the other animals. You know,
Oh my goodness.
he's an animal lover. He's always been. Yes, cats are his favorite. We had a bearded dragon when we were in California. Goose was her name. She was beautiful.
Oh my
But when I
goodness.
wasn't allowed to have her, she died of scale rot. So
Oh.
did the next snake that Katie bought him.
So sorry.
All right.
Jeez. So he liked reptiles, huh? That was his and then cats, just animals in general.
Animals in general. But when we lived because we lived in Spring Valley, California for years.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I had 2 dogs and we had Goose. And my ex threw a fit because I got rid of the dogs. Well, Sebastian was taking one for a walk and the dog took off after another dog and dragged my son down the sidewalk.
Oh my goodness.
No, you're not going to hurt my kid.
Right?
I had 2 of them. All right. And I wanted to train them to be able to work with Sebastian. He's autistic. But when that happened, couldn't do it. It was like, and I gave them away to good homes. I didn't sell them or anything like that. I literally turned around and gave one to the guy that lived across from us who had another place to live down in Mexico.
how many people think that he beat the shit out of the dog? Because I do. I don't believe he carefully gave them away. I think he beat the shit out of the dog.
And he took him out and took Abel out to a range. And Kane, I gave to one.
That is an excellent point, Jujubee. He was not diagnosed back then. They did not even know he had autism. Good point. That's a lie right there. That excellent point. He wasn't diagnosed until recently. So, Seth, you're lying once again. You weren't training him to deal with an autistic kid because you didn't know he was autistic.
One of the ladies at his school because she had just put her dog to sleep because her dog was old.
Oh.
And I was like, I tell you what, I've got a pity. You know, he was Stafford Razor Cross. Gray, beautiful, beautiful pups. All right. I'm like, they're a little over a year old. They're still puppies. And I was like, you can have him. And I gave 50 pounds of dog food to her and gave her, you know, Kane. I was like, here you go. You know, and Sebastian didn't even realize the dogs were gone for 2 weeks. 2 weeks that they were gone. And then I finally took the doggy door out of the hallway. And he walked up and he was like, why'd you do that, Dad? The dogs are going to come eat my toys. And I looked down and I was like, son, you had one job, and that was to feed and water the dogs in the morning before I took you to school. When was the last time you fed and watered the dogs? And he was like, oh, I guess I should feed and water them. I was like, son, I already gave them away to new homes. And he was like, oh. I was like, don't worry, I gave them to good homes, though. He was like, okay.
Yep, right there. You're right. This was it wasn't about he dragged him down the street. It was because he didn't feed him. Because Sebastian didn't feed him. And Sebastian didn't even realize they were gone for 2 weeks. Okay, Seth. But he's so observant, but he doesn't realize the dog is gone for 2 weeks. Okay, gotcha.
You know, he was younger then.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't attached to him like I was.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you this because I really want to clear this up too, because this is another one that's on nagging my soul. It's been people. There are certain creators that keep saying that.
Let me just say, when we got my dog, Buka, the kids promised they were going to do this, 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 and this. They didn't do shit. You know what I did? I did it myself. They didn't feed the dog. I fed the dog. They didn't take the dog out. I took the dog out. They didn't do this. I ended up doing it. A good parent understands that kids are kids. You don't give away an animal because a kid didn't feed them. If a kid doesn't feed them, well, the dog's still got to eat. So feed them yourself.
This over and over, that Sebastian was going to be made to live with you because he was being punished.
And let me also add that when Buka would chase something and try to drag the kids, now at one point Phoenix tried to run with him, but that didn't work. I told Phoenix, just let him go. Don't get hurt. Just let go and let him go do his thing. He'll be back. And he did.
Can you please clarify that? Because I don't believe that's to be the case at all.
I'll clear it up with this comment. While I was homeless in California going through a divorce and finally got the restraining order and everything cleared up in the court system, where everything that somebody had stated about me was proven false.
There you go.
And there was no.
Now, one thing I will do is even if the kids are in their rooms, I'd be like, Dayton, come out here, take out the garbage, feed the dog. That I will do. And they do it. You know, I'll be sitting on the couch and Buka will want to go out. I'm like, Phoenix, go let the dog out. I'm sitting right there. But why do I do that? Just to show them that they need to pull responsibility. Because when Buka's sitting there barking at night, guess who gets up and lets him out? That would be me.
Nothing could be proven that anything she said was legitimate at all, but everything that I stated was legitimate. Clear down to police reports. For my son to tell me that he'd rather live in the car with me than in that house with his mom, that should.
I'll tell you why I don't believe that statement. I don't believe that statement because, one, if that was true and you loved your son so much, then why did you make your son, quote unquote, punish your son by telling him he needs to stay at his mom's house for another year? That's not somebody that A, loves their son, B, is worried about their son, or C, has a son that would rather live in a car with them than with Katie and Chris. I don't believe that. Because if that was true, he would have taken him back to court. But instead, he says, oh, well, you need to stay with your mom another year. Okay, Chris. Okay, Seth.
Tell you.
Yeah.
My son wasn't being punished to come live here with me. He thought he was being punished with online school. But he needed to get into therapy, and he needed to have that year of just being online school. And what people don't realize is that he'd have been going to online school, which I still have him registered for and enrolled. I'm just hoping that I have him found and back to me before school starts. But he was going to school with his godbrother. Because his godparents live up here in Clarksville too, which is why I live up here.
I have a question. Someone that wanted me to ask you this too. The day that they called you, Chris called you to tell you that right here, Jane. I see it, babe. Jane says
he also said they were puppies, though. First, he says that one of them dragged them down the road, and then he says they were little puppies. So, which was it?
Can Seth please explain the day that Chris called? He called you and told you Sebastian was missing, and when you arrived at the house, what Katie did with her phone to you.
She had the picture of Sebastian at Costco, shoved it in my face, and was like, "Look, see, he was having a good day."
What?
Like, what does that mean to me? What does that mean to me?
Crazy, Seth.
And Seth, does she not talk to you ever by herself? Because I noticed that Chris says like he kept in contact with you. Would Katie not co-parent with you one-on-one?
Sometimes it was difficult.
Okay.
Sometimes we could have, I mean, sometimes co-parenting is hard. It is hard, but you will.
All right, Brittany, in all fairness, you've never been divorced. You've never, and thankfully so, but you've never had to deal with co-parenting. And sometimes co-parenting can be really tough. Sometimes you just can't deal with it. So if the other one is married, you might want to deal with the other one, or the husband or the spouse, rather than dealing with the ex yourself. I know a lot of people that would rather deal with their husband or wife's spouse than the actual parent. I've seen that multiple times.
Do whatever you can to make sure that your child is okay.
Oh, absolutely.
But
And-
I
and-
refused.
Mhm.
I refused to continue certain punishments from that house at my house because he didn't do it at my house.
I don't blame you.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that. I teach co-parenting classes. You are right about that. And
There you go.
I did try to correct that. I heard people saying that if the kid gets in trouble at one house, the punishment should spill over to the other. And I said that is
I
not.
believe that only depends on what he did wrong.
I agree with that.
Well,
If he had sat there and hit a teacher or something, yeah, I don't approve of putting your hands on anybody, especially a female. Oh, hell no. So
But
me and him are going to have a nice long talk for that hour that we get here. And I'm going to ask him what he thinks his punishment should be. But that's only going to be after I find out what his punishment has been at his mom and Chris's.
And that would be a specific example of where both parents would have to be called in for that particular type of infraction, right?
Right, where it would be
But
both.
if you,
Correct.
like if you buy, like your bedtime's 10 o'clock, kid stays up to 10:30, 10:45, and you say, okay, well, you're grounded this weekend. That grounding should not happen at the co-parent's house. I've seen situations where one parent was actually weaponizing that, so that every time the kid went over to the dad's house, he had to be grounded for the dad's weekend. So
Yeah, no, that's my weekend with him, not
There you
your
go.
weekend to control him.
that's exactly
Right.
correct.
And
Absolutely.
and I told
Okay, that is situational. And I'll give you an example. When Dayton was young, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I called Brad. I said, you better talk to your son. He did X, Y, and Z. I really don't remember what it was, but I remember calling Brad about it. And Brad had said something to me like, well, what do you want me to do? I said, well, you better talk to him. And I remember, like I said, I don't remember what the situation was, but Brad would carry that over and be like, Dayton, why'd you do X, Y, and Z? Did he punish him? No, but Dayton was never punished to begin with. But I would still call him and he would still talk to him. If Dayton did something over there, yeah, it was kept over there. But when Dayton came home, I'd be like, well, what'd you do to get in trouble? Why did daddy yell? Blah, blah, blah. So you should still talk to them about what is going on. So I kind of agree, but disagree. Hold on. What? We're talking about co-parenting.
told Katie a long time ago, when you divorce me, you lose all the protection that I give you. As in, you're no longer my.
That was the craziest comment I think I heard in all of this. Once you divorce me, you lose the protection I give you. What?
My spouse. And yeah, this may sound harsh or rude or whatever, but that also means I don't have to treat you like I would my loved one.
Yep.
Okay, let me just say this. My son is funny. Yeah, he is. Let me just say this. A good co-parent. I did not have this with my kids. My parents stayed married forever. But a good co-parent, because I have friends that are good co-parents, they still respect the fuck out of the other spouse. They still respect them as the mother or father of their child. They would never talk bad about them. They still protect them as if they were still married. That's a good co-parent. So when I hear him make comments like this, it's like, whoa, are you fucking for real? You just said blatantly what a fucked up co-parent you are. Because again, a good co-parent, and again, I have friends like I have family members. A good co-parent is just that. It doesn't matter that you fell out of love. You still support and respect each other. And you still give each other 100%, whether you're together or not. So this just further proves the absolute dysfunction in this family.
Now that's
because
true.
you violated your vows. You have stepped upon these vows that you took in front of somebody that are supposed to be in front of God, and you have trashed these vows because you don't want to work with me anymore. Got it. Well, I'll work with
Someone wanting a divorce doesn't mean you trash your vows. Even if she had an affair, even if she cheated on him, no matter what the situation, doesn't mean she trashed her vows.
you when it comes to Sebastian, but don't expect the same treatment from me that you got when I was married.
I
People
don't
think I'm not
understand.
over her. No, I still have good memories.
I treat the twins' father, obviously Brad's dead, so I can't treat him anyway, but I still treat the twins' father the same way as when we were together. I don't treat him any differently because we're no longer together. He's still their father. I didn't like him when we were together. I don't like him now, but seriously. When Brad was alive, ask Dayton how many times I said something bad about his father. Very rare. In the beginning, I did when we were in the custody fight. But after that, I did nothing but show Dayton about what a good person his father was, what a great dad he was, how wonderful he was. In the beginning, I didn't. Afterwards, I did. I drove my ass to Iowa without complaint. Exactly. I used to tell Dayton all the stories about me and Brad. Right, Dayton? I used to tell you stories about your dad.
Yeah.
Good stories, I mean.
Well, yeah. All the good, some of the bad. But, like, you kind of need it, though.
Well,
When it comes to, like, co-parenting like that, like, if you don't know about both of them, it's not going to work as well. Like, I knew a lot about Dad. That's why I was... I don't know how to put it. But, like, you told me the good about Dad, and that's what I always saw in Dad versus the bad.
no matter how mad I was, no matter how much I hated him.
Yeah. There's some scissors.
I'm in the kitchen. Where are you going?
Work?
What?
Work?
You're working? What time?
3.
I didn't know that.
You didn't?
No? Let me guess. You need a ride.
Scott isn't working today. Because he's going out of town.
Going out of town again? No.
I think so. Actually, I think he's just not working. I think he just wasn't scheduled today, actually.
Oh.
I don't know.
Memories. I have a lot of good memories of me, Sebastian, and his mom.
Yeah.
All right. I never focused on the negative ones. I know them. I lived through it. But I always been the one that goes for the positive memories. The times that we were fishing on the dock in South Georgia while we're sitting there and I've got a net over Sebastian's rocker because Sebastian's an infant and we're out there fishing at night with him.
Oh.
Okay. I still remember things that she probably doesn't like to remember. Like, I had a pickup truck. I was the only one that was working. I was the only one. We only had one vehicle. And it started raining. And I told her, listen, it's raining outside. We have a kid. You're going to have to ride in the back. You can't drive a stick shift. If you could drive a stick, I'll ride in the back. But she couldn't drive a standard.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't take Sebastian home and come back and pick you up. There's nobody at the house. I'm not leaving him. I mean, let's be, common sense here. One of us has to ride in the back.
Okay, so my question on this story is, how did they get there to begin with? Hold on.
I got compliments on the belt buckle.
Did you? I remember when Daddy made that.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. He made it with Jimbo.
My manager, he was like, "It's a really cool belt buckle you have." I was like, "Thanks."
I remember when he made it.
I was like, "My dad used to weld them. He's a welder." He was like, "That's super cool."
I do. I was with him when he made it. But how did they, if they were fishing, how'd they get there? She had to have been in the back to begin with. So that whole story makes no sense to me. Because if you were able to get there, then you are able to get home. So I just don't get it.
Well, right after that, she got online and she was like, I found us a new truck. All right, that's cool. I still miss my little Toyota. I remember taking her to the DMV to get her driver's license for the first time.
Oh.
Okay, remember back in the beginning when he said that he wasn't with her till long after 18? Well, when did she get her driver's license then? That was another part of the story that was a little odd. Most people get their driver's license 17, 18, 16. So I'm not really sure if I buy this whole 18 thing. Buy a candle and a what? I don't know what that red thing is.
Oh, okay. I didn't groom this lady.
I get so tired of that. Yeah, that's
this lady
awful.
She did not have the opportunities that children should have because of her father and the mistakes that her mother had made and the mistakes that her father made. She didn't get the opportunity. But as her husband, I was damned she's going to get these opportunities. I helped her buy her first car. Sprayed my wrist, changing the brake pads on her first vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
People will make trash up because
Absolutely.
they're trashy people.
You're right about that. You're right.
And then they're going to get butthurt when they get a cease and desist because they're talking garbage and they're making me look bad, which I don't need anybody to help me do that. Thank you.
Well, I think calling somebody a predator,
yes,
that's more than talking shit. That's a crime.
Yeah.
They can't do that,
Yeah.
So when I thought about that, I said, well, maybe that explains the cease and desist letters. I wouldn't let anybody say things like that.
When there's a YouTube.
Okay, let me explain cease and desist letter. It's called control. He wants control over what's being said. He wants control over YouTubers. He wants control over the case. He doesn't have control with the police, so he wants control over the general public. This is what I'm pretty sure of.
YouTubers out there claiming that they made $20,000 off of my son.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's.
Why doesn't anyone on this panel ask for fucking proof? I want to know what YouTuber went to the father and said, I made $20,000 off your son's case. I don't believe it. I think he's lying. If he's not lying, then prove it. Prove it, because I don't believe it. I don't believe anybody came and told him that. So prove it.
That's gross.
That is gross.
They got a cease and desist too, because you're nasty. You're using the fact that
By the way, he claims it wasn't T-Rub.
Oh,
my son's
goodness.
not here and telling people you make $20,000. You're pretty nasty.
Whoever.
When a YouTube is that is literally here in Tennessee sits there and asks me about handguns, and I give him my personal opinion of what he should be looking for because of the performance, and he wants to talk about how much money he has, and I said, well, while you're
all right, that has to be T-Rev then. It has to be. Because T-Rev is the one that he supposedly talked about guns with. But he claims it wasn't T-Rev.
at it, if you're making that much, why don't you buy two and give me one? No, the pistol don't cost $2,000. They're $2,500. I would.
Okay, $2,000 and $2,500 is not much. It's just not much.
Been saving up for 4 months before my son went missing to get it. Do you think I have that money now? No, I spent that money in doing other things.
You got $25,000 in a GoFundMe in a few days. Stop the bullshit, Seth. Just stop.
Right.
Right.
Dude, did I want it? I sure did. That was going to be a birthday present from me to me. Now I just want to find my son.
I get it.
I don't give a fuck about present. I give a fuck about being able to hold my baby boy.
Okay. You got, and I'm not diminishing him or anything, but let's talk about facts. You claim you make $50,000 in a year. So you're able to live 12 months on $50,000 minus taxes. After taxes, you bring home like 40. Okay. And I'm being generous. After taxes, you bring home like 40. Actually, as a matter of fact, hold on. Okay. In Tennessee, the average correction officer makes 19 to 28 per hour, 36,000 to 63 per year. Salary.com says 37,000 to 56,000 per year. So he claims he makes $50,000. The average correction officer is $23 an hour, 44,000 a year as of May 30th, 2024. So we're going to give him that. We're going to say is an average correction officer making $45,000 a year. After taxes, you're making about 35 to 38. All right. And I will just, for argument's sake, we'll say 40,000 after taxes. You got 20 and you live an entire year on that, support yourself, support your child and everything else. In a few days, you've raised over $25,000. That's more than half of your yearly salary. And you blow through it in 3 months. 2 months, not even 2 months. And you want to cry poverty after 2 months from making flyers. Bullshit. That's not including cash apps and everything else. So let's stop talking about what YouTubers make for covering your story when I want to know where all this money is, because all you keep talking about is flyers. The community, Sebastian's army, for lack of a better way to say it, are the ones that paid for billboards. They're ones that paid for a lot of different things. You're the one taking this money and putting it to an attorney to send out cease and desist for people that talk bad about you. Please just stop. It's embarrassing. But I really would like to know where this $25,000, $30,000 went in 2 months when you can live an entire year on less than $40,000 a year.
Hold on a minute. I want to clarify that right now. Are you saying that the person bragged to you about making that money?
Yes.
Oh my God. I can't with that.
Crazy.
I'm sorry, y'all. That right there is awful.
It's like,
That is
you are
horrific.
such a piece of shit. And to think that I come onto your thing and I think that you have my back and I tell you to be safe while you're out there doing what you're doing in other states, because I've been taken advantage of by YouTubers, content creators, more like copy clickers, because they just want to take interviews and dissect them. Oh, did you see how his eyeball twitched? Oh, he keeps his hand up above. I've got nerve damage in my right arm and I can't even make it into an MRI. I've been waiting for over a month, close to 2, for an MRI. All right. Yeah.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have taken your money and given it to a lawyer to send out fake fucking C&Ds, and maybe you should have gone to get the MRI done or gone to another county or something. But it's much more important to send out fake C&Ds and give money to an attorney, which was at least $5,000, at least, at minimum.
There's days that I cannot pull myself out of my bed.
I can tell. I mean, this has taken a toll.
Yes, it's too much.
Have you would you be able to just sort of stay away from the whole YouTube stuff for a week or so, just to kind of give
I
yourself?
did. That's why I deleted my account. I couldn't even watch any music or anything. Thank God I'm old enough that I still have CDs.
Yeah.
Bless your heart. It's not good for anybody. It's not, especially, listen, I as a creator myself, I've said this before you've been on my panel, and I'll say it again. When it comes to cases with missing children or tragedies or anything like that, this place is a cesspool.
It is.
For families. It's horrible. What they're doing to you, what's happened to many others, it's absolutely gross.
You know what's? It is gross, but you know what? When you get people that are paying people to continue to do it, where is the? I mean, really, you can't blame them. People want to pay for the drama. They're like, this is better than, cable TV.
It's sad.
And
People paying for that drama is what got you all the money that you've raised from this case, from your own son. People paying for the drama that you've created, the drama that you caused, the drama of you lying on panels. The list is endless of all the drama that brings in money, Seth, that you have made. Let's not forget that. Hey, Grain.
it's like, so true. The only difference is this is real life. This isn't Law and Order. This is literally somebody's life.
Well, Seth, I mean, on mainstream TV, the reality TV shows, people flock to that, right?
I don't have TV. I had Netflix. That's about it. Now I don't even have that. I actually haven't had a TV subscription. I stopped watching TV when my doctor told me you need to stop watching the news. Because the news is affecting your health.
Absolutely.
And that was back in 2011.
Yeah.
So first he had TV. Now he hasn't had TV since 2011. Okay.
And they,
So I was like, I tell you what, that's $120 that could be put towards something else.
absolutely agree. But the reality TV where they take a group of people that don't know each other, put them in a house together, and then they add a bunch of alcohol, and then they film and watch as these people just go through their days fighting and being ugly. There's a certain element of our population today that they like, and I think, my opinion, you get a lot of that with some of these channels where there's drama all the time. And that one particular channel that, you know, she's got it for Christopher Proudfoot, that they do seem to really like, you know, enjoy that type of banner. And
Oh, it's awful.
it is. It is. And the only thing that you can do, Seth, is to insulate yourself from it and just not watch it. Don't go there. Don't listen. You're not going to control these people. We sat, Brittany can tell you, we sat and watched for about 2 years as Chris.
This is what drives me fucking nuts about this community. And I'm going to call it out. Let me put a disclaimer on this. I like Brittany. I am friends with Brittany. I go on Brittany's panel. I have no issues with Brittany. So let's make that clear. I also like Jules of Thought. I think she's very intelligent, and I happen to like her and her husband. So I'm going to put that disclaimer on. But please stop sitting on a fucking panel talking about how everybody else is making money on a case when Brittany's sitting here making money on this case. That shit drives me nuts. Brittany is doing nothing different than everybody else talking about this case. I don't know why people can sit in a chat or sit on a panel and talk about everybody else when you're doing the exact fucking same thing. Call a spade a spade. Stop saying everybody else is doing something when you're doing it. So, Jules, you're sitting there saying how this person is doing this or that channel is doing this. Brittany's making money off Sebastian. So let's stop let's point my finger at another channel. Let's point fingers at a different channel when the channel you're sitting on is doing the exact same thing. So again, I like Brittany. I'm not saying anything against Brittany. I'm saying that don't sit on a panel pointing fingers at somebody else's channel when the channel you're sitting on is doing that. It's every channel does it. Every single channel does it. Stop pointing fingers. Shit drives me insane.
Chris Watt's wife, Shanann Rizek, her parents hired attorneys. They sent cease and desist to YouTube. They tried to sue YouTube, individual creators, just trying to make people stop with the nonsense, and they could never get it to happen. And
drama will never stop because there's always people that are craving the drama. Mm-hmm. But as creators, you guys.
And what do you think the audience that you're sitting on right now is craving, Seth? The audience that you're sitting on right now is craving drama. It's clear as day. But I know it's different.
You guys can limit it because you can limit the drama. That stuff's not allowed here. If you keep it up, you can go somewhere else because you won't be allowed here. I mean, that's just the way it is. Somebody was wanting to know about me leaving my son at home. When he was here, my son was responsible. Have you ever known? Okay, my son was never an eloper. He never eloped. He never ran out, ran away, no nothing. Besides the fact that my neighbors all around know my son and think that he's the wonderfulest child they've ever met.
Oh,
okay.
My son is a responsible 16-year-old boy. I've had a very hard time leaving him alone overnight. Would I get a job overnight, leave him home alone 12 hours every single night? Hell to the no. And he's a responsible 16 and a half, almost 17-year-old boy. I would not do it. Would I leave him alone with his brother overnight? Yes. Would I leave him alone with his sister overnight? Yes. Would I leave him alone in the house by himself 12 hours a night, every single night so I can go work? No. I'd find a babysitter. And he's not autistic.
Oh, darling.
My neighbor has stated that she has watched him come out this door and stand in the driveway, and she was out here, and he was like, "Hi, how you doing?" She's like, "Hey, what are you up to?" And he was like, "My dad will be home in about 7 minutes."
Aw.
And she's like, "How do you know?" And he was like, "Because I know what time it is. My dad's never late when he's coming home from work. He'll be home in about 7 minutes." And she's like, "Oh." He was like, "I come home. He's already got coffee made and everything." And it's like, "How'd you know I was coming home early?" He was like, "I just knew you were coming home, Dad."
So sweet. So
I
sweet.
made that promise to him. "I'm going to work, son. I'll call you later on tonight." Because I'd call him from the jail. Because I can't have my cell phone in there. All right. So I would call his cell phone from the jail. And I would see how he was doing. He never had a reason to leave. I hate
Yeah,
this word.
there you go.
I really hate this.
How nice of you. What a good father. He leaves his 13, 14, 15-year-old kid alone overnight, and he calls him to make sure he's okay. What a good father. Let's give kudos for that.
This word. But the kid had plenty of food and snacks in this house for him. All right. And when I say snacks, I'm talking about he's got yogurt cups, fruit cups, everything.
Let me just tell you guys, off subject, there is a ghost in my room. I swear to you. Every couple of days, I see like a shadow behind me. Like I see a shadow move. Now, Book is in the living room because I can see him, and Winston is in front of me. There is absolutely nothing behind me. And this has happened now like 4 times that I'll see a dark shadow and I'll turn around and my windows are covered. So it's not like something from behind, but there's definitely something in my room. I don't know where it came from, when it came from, how it started, but it just happened again. I don't know if I should do a reading in here or what, but it happened last night and I just thought maybe I was seeing things. I looked to see if anything was running on the floor, like, if there was anything there. No, I don't have any bugs or rats or anything. But ever since we saw that, mouse outside, now I'm thinking like it hidden in my room somehow. But this is the second or third time that a dark shadow has, like, I see it, I feel it. It's so weird. But I just noticed Book is in front of me. I could see Book in another room and Winston's by my feet. So there's no reason and there's no shadows moving. There's definitely something in here. I am 100% convinced. That final shadow that I just saw was definitely convinced. So I just had to say that. I know, right? You see a shadow from a mouse, you better start running. But that's what I was afraid of the first time I saw it. Like I saw something whoosh past me and I was like, what the fuck was that? But yeah, it came out of my closet. So I know there was nothing there. First time I saw it was, I want to say about a week ago. Almost like somebody walks past your room and, like they hit the sun, like that kind of shadow. But it happened at night and nothing passed me. Like there was nothing past and it just happened again. It's fucking weird. But the other night, I think it was last night, I felt it. I felt something behind me. I was like, wow, this is weird. Like I turned around, there was nothing there, but I literally felt it. And just now I feel it again. There's definitely something in here all of a sudden. I don't know what. I don't know if it's friendly, if it's not friendly, but there's definitely something in here all of a sudden. So not to interrupt, but did the hair stand up on your arms? Last night it did. Today it just kind of, I just know something's here. I don't know who, what, when, where, why, or how, but something is definitely here. It's not really a scary feeling, but it's the second time in 2 days that I saw that. Weird.
Thing in the fridge, carrots, celery, peanut butter. Boy knows how to cook. Does he, hot pockets, burritos, you name it, in the freezer, because he knows how to use the microwave. And then if I was here, he would cook on the stove, because that's what I was teaching him to do. I was teaching him to be independent for himself.
Wow.
You have to let them grow if they're ever going to be able to fly on their own.
How can I just ask for clarification, and listen, I'm not judging you at all, because I think you love your son, and there's no doubt in my mind. I don't question it. But did you have to work overnight, or was it during the day?
I worked overnight.
Okay. And he did fine. That's good. I mean, listen, I have a child on the spectrum, and something I can tell y'all about him. Sebastian was 15. They're perfectionists. Was Sebastian a perfectionist? Did he have to do things the right way and, very punctual? I'm just curious.
Not really following the question, but Sebastian did what Sebastian knew he needed to do.
Right. So usually when a lot, I don't want to say that because it's not fair, but in the cases
I'll tell you what, I'd come home and his bed ain't made. Did he make his bed like he was supposed to? No. I come home and be like, Sebastian, did you brush your teeth last night before you went to bed? I'm gonna take that as a no. Go brush your teeth.
It's a typical teenager.
Yeah, he's a teenager. He's gonna rebel. Welcome to being, a parent of a teenager. Certain things you have to do. Certain things you just look over. Certain things.
Can I just tell you, I have never made my kids make their bed. I don't know why. I just never did. I never said, make your bed. Make your bed every day. No. It's their bed. They can leave it however they want.
You have to remind them of. All right?
Well,
it was just that. I was happy if he made sure that his room was maintained.
There you go.
And he knew how to wash his own laundry.
Oh, that's
good. When he was having accidents.
As a matter of fact, it was last year, I think it was. I was bitching on one of my Patreons, Coffee and Conversations, about the kids not cleaning their room, and it was driving me nuts. She's like, Laura, walk by their room and shut the door. This way you don't have to look at it. And I said, yeah, but they should clean it. Laura, walk by their room and just shut their doors. And that's what I did. I just walked by their room and shut their doors. And this way I didn't have to look at it.
All right. He didn't get in trouble for having the accident. He got in trouble for not cleaning it up.
There you go.
Guaranteed this is when he was like 11 and 12, because we were getting to the point where he didn't have accidents at my house. He didn't need to wear a pull-up. He didn't have to.
He didn't have any accidents at my house. He was so perfect at my house. An 11 or 12-year-old boy is having, is still wearing pull-ups, or still, peeing in their bed, or still doing something. Trust me, Seth, he did it at your house. Either that or he was too fucking scared.
He was here for 2 weeks at one point in time. I think he had an accident. He didn't make it to the toilet in time. Not he was sitting there and just peed himself like, oh, I peed myself. No, he didn't make it there in time, and he peed himself trying to get his little thing out so that he could sit there and pee in the toilet. All right. Okay. And I looked at it.
He couldn't get his little thing out. Really, Seth? Really? That's how you describe your kid? A 12-year-old couldn't make it to the bathroom on time? but he couldn't get his little thing out. Come on, Seth, really? But he was so perfect at your house. You were just such the perfect dad.
And I was like, okay, you're not in trouble for that, but what you do need to do is you now need to take a shower and you need to go ahead and start a load of laundry when you're done. Because you got it on you. You got pee on you, son. It's urine. You don't want to smell like that. It's not good for your skin. Hot shower, clean yourself up, start a load of laundry. If he had an accident in the bed, because he was also getting to that age as well, the last time he had an accident, I don't think he peed himself.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to tell
Because
you.
he's the boy. And I was like, hey, your clothes are wet. So I need you to go ahead and get up. He was like, but Dad, I didn't.
I'm sorry, but I do not believe any of this is how Seth acted. I'm sorry, I don't. I do not believe it for 1 second. Seth, I'm sorry. You're too much of a control freak for me to think that you were just so calm and collected, that you said all the right things, that you did all the right things. You were just a perfect parent. Stop. Just stop. Be honest. You've already told the scenario that it wasn't like that. Just stop.
I didn't pee myself. I was like, son, I'm not asking you what happened. I'm telling you, I need you to get up. I need you to strip your bed. We need to go ahead and get that stuff ready for the washer. And I need you to just go take a shower.
I do not believe that he acted so calm and collected. I do not believe you, Seth. I'm sorry. I don't. I think you yelled. I think you probably freaked the fuck out. If my 12-year-old is pissing on himself, I'm going to flip out. And I'm going to be honest about it. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, honey, it's okay, blah, blah, blah. Not if he's never done it before. So Seth acting like he was just so calm and collected. Stop the fucking bullshit.
And he
There
would
is
do it,
no.
and all is fine, right? I mean, but
And then afterwards, he took a shower, put the laundry in, started the washer, washed that. We Lysoled the bed to make sure, like we do any other time we're doing linens. And he made his bed, and there was no more conversation about it.
there you go.
I don't
So,
understand why there would be more conversation. It happened. It's in the past. We clean ourselves up. We take care of what happened, and we move on.
well, I guess that's why I struggle, because you said he did so well. I don't understand why he had to wear. I don't know what to call them, but they made him wear them 24/7 at their house. It just seemed.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Oh, absolutely.
This is for Jenny P. T Rev isn't the person that made $20,000.
Oh, okay.
Okay. T Rev told me how much he made in 1 month. I haven't stated how much he made in 1 month. But some of the stuff that came out of his mouth to me, after being quote unquote my brother, as he has stated, the fact is that he did this to himself. And he continues to sit there and do what he did. I do not have a problem with people getting $10, $5, super chats, whatever, because I know that that's what you're doing. But if you're spreading my son's case in a positive manner, instead of talking about him, because you guys don't know him, you guys don't really know me. But if you're going to sit there and talk down about my son or talk down to me, you're with the drama. I can't have it. So, Jen.
All right. I'm going to put something out there, which again is not going to be popular opinion, but it's a fact. Talking bad about a missing child, absolutely vile. Seth, I can call out your lies all day, every day. Talking bad about you is wrong. I'm not denying that. But also talking bad about Chris and Katie is wrong. But you don't seem to have a fucking problem with that, because you're the first one doing it. again, Chris and Katie are just as much of a suspect as you are. Nobody has been cleared. Nobody. So it absolutely drives me nuts to hear him say, well, you're not allowed to talk bad about me. Why? You're not missing. There's nothing wrong with you. But I don't agree with talking bad about anybody, any parent of a missing child. They should all get the same respect. But when you put yourself out there and you're sending C and Ds because you don't like what someone's saying about you, toughen up, Buttercup. You're a fucking control freak.
Jenny P, know what I'm talking about. And if I'm a sad ass individual, what's that make you for not knowing what I'm speaking about? See, that's part of the drama, Jenny.
Yeah, that's
You don't know who I'm speaking about. I haven't stated everybody that I sent a cease and desist to.
And
I stated I sent it to 6 people.
And Jenny P, who are you to say to someone who's lost their child, their child is gone? Who the hell do you think you are calling them a sad ass person?
Oh, but it's okay to talk about Katie and Chris. That's okay, right, Jules? No, that's not okay. Nobody. Katie, again, I'll say what I said in the beginning. If Katie's innocent, because we don't know who did this. So assuming, and again, assuming Katie and Chris are innocent, is it okay what's being done to them? Is it okay all the stuff that Seth has said about his own son? Chris and Katie didn't do that. Seth did. All these bad things, quote unquote, that we know about Sebastian came from his own biological father, not from his stepdad, not from his mom, from his own biological father. I'm sorry. He doesn't get any more respect than Chris and Katie get at this moment.
I can't even imagine a world like that. Have
Nope.
you tried to put yourself in his shoes for about 2 seconds? I can't even imagine the panic that a person would have not knowing where their child is.
He is not even the custodial parent. What about the custodial parent who this kid vanished right under her nose? How about the guilt that she feels? How about what she's feeling, assuming she's innocent? How come that doesn't seem to matter? How come nobody seems to care about that?
And just trying anything to try to figure out even what direction to go in. What does that mean, you sad ass individual? You are the one reflecting yourself to be a sad ass individual. I'm done, Brittany. Sorry.
No, tell it. That mods, I want 0 tolerance for tonight, because that right there, I tell my mods to and let's still have freedom of speech, but not like that. That shit ain't okay at all.
And there's one other one, audacity. I just get the feeling that if the other parent left him that long, there would be an outrage. Katie knew what I did. She knows how long my shifts are. She knows that I work nights and I work 12-hour shifts. She knew everything before she came up, before we even agreed to that.
Well, here's the thing too. I'm listening to what Seth says.
Katie, Sebastian would get off at 3:00, and Katie wouldn't get home until 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. So if you think that
how are you going to compare 2 hours between in the afternoon to being left overnight? How about hire a fucking babysitter?
leaving him for 12 hours while I go to work at night, she left him at home alone as well during the day.
I remember
All right.
Chris say
He's
that.
15 years old. No, we communicated about that, because one of the things that I wanted her to make sure that she understood is that I work 12-hour shifts. Sometimes I have to stay over. It's mandated, and I have to pull 16-hour shifts. Because we're
16-hour shifts and you're leaving. He was only 15 when he disappeared, but you were leaving him alone at 13 and 14. Who knows if there was even longer? but it doesn't sound like you ever had a babysitter for him. So make it make sense to me, because it doesn't. You keep saying 15. He was barely 15. I forgot when his birthday was, but he was barely 15. You were leaving him alone at 13 and 14 overnight for 12 to 16 hours. If that was my kid, no way in hell would you have him.
Short-handed. We got to have officers there for the inmates. And she was completely aware of this. See, there was communication, there was co-parenting when it came to Sebastian. Wasn't the best in the world, but at least both of us tried.
Well, one thing that I actually that sticks out for me with everything, and I've tried to even tell everybody, what, regardless of what you believe, that you can't deny that even Chris and Katie themselves has spoke very highly of Seth's relationship with Sebastian.
Yeah.
You know, they said that if Sebastian was in sports, you bet his father would be on the front row. You know, I don't know what happened. Seth, if you want to come back in, I'll drop the link to you again. Y'all, let's be respectful. Y'all, it's easy to hear he's going through some things. I mean,
just on the edge.
All right, that's it. I guess Seth never comes back. But yeah, I was listening to that this morning and I was like, okay, I got to say something here. I can't just stay quiet on this. This is crazy. And I never liked Seth from the very first interview. I felt like there was something shady about him and nothing has changed since. Do I think he had anything to do with the disappearance of his son? Probably not. But there's a reason why he's still a suspect. And it's not my place to say why he's still a suspect, but the fact that he is still a suspect, you know, says a lot. Tells me that my instincts are right. So on that note, we hit the 2-hour mark. Before I leave, candle orders are going out tomorrow, by the way. New subscriptions, welcome. You guys are going out tomorrow as well. But I need an opinion, guys. I'm going to pull a long crime moment right here and just randomly talk about something. All right. The final update was done. Tell me what you guys think. Does it flow correctly? Let me come over here. There's the home page. Does it flow? That's what I need to know. I was getting feedback that it didn't flow before. There was too busy, too much stuff on it. So we changed it. It flows. You guys have no idea how hard I fucking worked on this. Oh my God. Insane. There's 71 items. And one thing I have to change though, which I forgot to tell you guys. Hold on. Oh, I took it off the homepage. The rose gold trimmers, they had a problem, so I'm getting black ones. So I have to change that. But I don't have them on the homepage anymore anyway. But it flows well. Because that's what my marketing people were telling me, that it didn't flow. It was too busy. It had no direction. And if anybody wants to come on here, I need some reviews. I just took one from my email. You don't understand. I redid pictures for 3 weeks. So we're going to pull a long crime moment. And while we're talking about missing children, while we're talking, what a perfect way to segue into, do you want your home smelling nice? Do you want your home to come home and feel relaxed? Do you want to come home and feel and smell wonderful after a hard day's at work? Well, go ahead and pick up an energy candle. It will elevate your ambiance. It will make you feel good when you walk in your house. It will make your house smelling as beautiful as you want it to, all for a very low cost. You're getting an amazing luxury candle at a cost that you can't even buy at a local store. The quality and everything. Or you can get a monthly subscription and pay even less. You get free shipping. You get, for $25 a month, you get a $35 deal. And you don't have to pay shipping. It is the perfect deal. And there's that. So don't forget, go to energycandles.com, ENERGIE. You have over 70 candles to choose from, whether they be small or big. And it's a win-win. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. So yeah, I got to put together a commercial. I'm in the process of making one. So I'd still have to do the second slider on here though. But I'm happy with it. I think it came out good. I really do. Although I think I'm going to change this to something else because I already have that here. Light the Darkness from YouTube. Exactly. Buy a candle from Laura. But yeah, it was a lot of work. I shit you not. And pictures had to be taken at a certain time of the day. Horrible. Horrible. But we finally got it done. I changed the fonts. We got everything. We got what was I gonna say? We got new wax, we got new wicks, we got new vessels, we got new everything. We got new website. We got everything. Yeah, this is it. I'm stuck with it. I worked my ass off on this. You have no idea. Well, I mean, I didn't move for weeks, literally. You need a picture of you with a cup of tea and a candle relaxing with a dog. I hope so, Crystal. And also, I gotta update these to the new air fresheners. I also have to update the scents. The other thing is too that was updated is all the descriptions have been updated. So what do you guys think of the new labels? I took a hint from all the big leagues of how to do the labels. I like them. I really do. After like changing labels 32,000 times, I like them. You love the labels? Good. I like them too. But yeah, it took so much fucking work. You have no idea. And that's it. A lot of people love the banana bread. It's one of the best sellers. It is one of my best sellers. Mystic, you have no idea how many times I had to redo this. I am telling you, I redid these pictures 3 times every single day. We're talking, I wasted over $200 in labels. Horrible. I kept redoing pictures because once you redo one, then you have to redo every single one of them. So they're all the same and they all have the same, like, and then if like this one is turned a little instead of being like straight on, that would drive me nuts. And finally, I just gave up. I said, I'm never going to get all of these perfect. I just need to stop. Or like, you can see how like on this one, the top is not as bright as this one because it was taken at a different time of day. At first, that would drive me nuts. And finally, I said, I have to stop doing this. Like, I just have to, like, this one was taken at a different time of day than that one. I was like, everything's got to be done at the exact same time. So, yeah, it was not easy. And then my marketing people were like, no, the labels aren't clear. Everything needs to be crystal clear. Then I had to learn a program to make them crystal clear. And then finally I said, this is it. I can't do it anymore. I have to move on. So, but I am really happy with it. Like you can tell the top of this was taken at a different time than the top of that, but I just had to stop. I had to give it up. I was like, I have to move on. Or like this one's a little crooked, trying to get that one straight. It was just too much already. I couldn't even find a clean surface in my house that was straight. Sage is good. She's doing really good. She's doing a yearly trip with her bestie and her family to Florida for July 4th, I think. Maybe Dan can get the Bible. Laura handing a Bible sounds scary. Put a Bible in. I do smudge the house. I use sage all the time. I think some followed you home from cancer treatments. Maybe. Maybe. So good. It flows well. I still need to change a couple things on the cell version, but I think it flows well. I think it looks really good. I'm finally happy with it. Yeah, her rich friends. They're freaking loaded. So, all right, I'm going to get out of here. I got to get dressed. I got to drive Dayton to work. But don't forget, as it says on the website, in 18 hours, 48 minutes, and seconds counting down, we're doing a BOGO special, buy one, get one. That is the biggest sale of the year. I do it twice a year. And we're doing it from now until July 1st. You get 2 candles for the price of one. It's one 9-ounce candle and one 8-ounce candle that comes in a tin. And that's it. It's always been such a great special. So we're going to do it again. And like I said, make sure you guys buy your BOGOs. Get a subscription. Subscriptions really are the best deal, to be honest. Because $25, you're getting free shipping and you're getting a candle plus wax melts. So you're getting a good deal. You save like 25%. But on that note, I have to get dressed and take Dayton to work. And then I got to clean my room, do some laundry. I've been craving a bagel. And I still got to create a commercial. I need a commercial. The mystery box is a great deal. And I actually have to make some more for the mystery box. I'm running low. My mom says I have to make some food candles and put them up, which she's right, I do. So I have to do that as well. But I also got to finish the orders. Some orders are finished, ready to go tomorrow. Some aren't. Yeah, we got hurricane season coming. You definitely want to have candles in case you get a hurricane. And like I said, candles have changed. They're better than ever. The wax is phenomenal. The wicks are phenomenal. It's a very clean, slow burn. No soot, no black, no nothing, no burns. And I think you guys will be really impressed. So on that note, I have to get out of here. I do want a bagel with lax and cream cheese, but I think the bagel store is going to be closed. I think by the time I get there, they're closed. Oh, I don't know. I have to check. So, all right. I will see you beautiful people later. Have a wonderful day. And make sure you order your candles, energycandles.com. Tomorrow starts the BOGO special, and you'll definitely not want to miss out. All right. I'll see you guys later. Peace.